Hi friends! Today I'm going to be ranking all of the side hustles I've tried so far from worst to best. This will not necessarily be done in terms of how much income they made me, but more in terms of how much I enjoyed the side hustle and if I think it has a lot of potential or not. So I have been receiving a lot of judgment, specifically from old men who have been telling me that I shouldn't rely on Redbubble as my only source of income. This video is for you because you clearly know nothing about my personal life. I'm just kidding, of course. This video is directed towards people who want to expand their knowledge on sources of income, potentially, for them. And, you know, maybe you will start a new job venture from this video. Just a quick disclaimer, this video is based on my experience and journey with all of these different things, and people will definitely have differing opinions to me. In no particular order, this video will discuss Redbubble, Printify surveys, TikTok paid sounds, YouTube, Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, Amazon Storefront, UGC, and my crochet business. Let's get started. Starting out, we have the number 9 slot, which is the worst rated slot, and that is Printify/Etsy. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but if you've seen my first Redbubble video, I talked about how Printify basically made me lose money as a Canadian because I did order some products to try out just to see how the quality was before launching my store. And I ended up losing money on them because of the insane shipping costs. So that is definitely why it is at the bottom, because it actually made me lose money and have to reroute my entire plan. But it does have a happy ending because I found Redbubble through this, which we'll talk about later in the video. If you aren't familiar with Printify, they're basically one of Redbubble's competitors, I guess you could say. They're a print-on-demand resource where you can design products and then link them to an Etsy shop. I definitely think this would be a lot better for somebody who lives in the States than it is for somebody who lives in Canada or elsewhere because, yeah, the shipping costs are wild. And when I say that, I mean the shipping costs for the seller, not necessarily for the customer. Next up, we have number 8, which is paid surveys. I have tried Zap Surveys and Addapole, which are 2 apps that basically will pay people to do random surveys, and they can vary based on how long they take and how much money you get from each survey. The reason why this is ranked so low for me is because I never got into them enough to make any real money. Some people find great success on apps like these, but for me, I can't sit down and make 10 cents for a survey that's gonna take an hour, which that's pretty much the amount of money you can get in the beginning from these surveys. Additionally, I'm not 18 yet, I'm 17, and a lot of the surveys are blocked until you turn 18, and those are some of the higher paying ones, so maybe you can take that into consideration as well. They sometimes also block you from the surveys if you live outside of a certain country, just because they want more like specific demographics, I guess. For me, paid surveys are just a no. I think there's so many better options out there, but you can definitely give them a try if you have lots of time on your hands. In the 7th slot, we're getting to some of the ones that I really do like, and this is UGC, which stands for User Generated Content. I will absolutely talk more about this in a future video if there's interest for that, and because I'll be starting it later this year. Basically, UGC is generating content for brands that they will use on their own pages, so it isn't the same as like what an influencer would do, where you make content for your own page promoting products or services, but for the brand's page. The reason why this is ranked so low is that when it sort of blew up on TikTok a while back, I did so much research on it and I was super in love with the whole concept, but I realized that a lot of the companies and programs that I could join were asking for people who were 18 plus, which I totally understand. So that's why I'm waiting till my birthday later this year to really get into UGC. But in the meantime, I'm still researching and learning lots about it. I think it's an awesome side hustle and definitely could become your full-time job, which I've seen a lot of people find success in. and I can't wait to start it later in the year. Unfortunately, it does have to be ranked pretty low just because I haven't started it yet. Next, in the number 6 spot, we have YouTube, right here. So if you aren't familiar with the whole monetization process with YouTube, you are paid through Google AdSense and you need to meet specific requirements before you can join this program. So you need to have 1,000 subscribers at least, and as you can see right now I have just over 200, I think, which I love you all so much. And you also need 4,000 watch time hours, which is basically the duration that people watch your videos. For reference, I currently have just over 600 watch time hours with 9 videos posted on my channel. I obviously haven't met these requirements yet, but I definitely want to make YouTube my full-time job someday. That's always been my dream, and so I'm working really hard to reach them, and that's why it is ranked lower on this list, because I haven't started the monetization process yet. It does have a lot of potential though, even for small creators, to make a good amount of money doing something that they love. So that's why it's higher up than some of the others. Ooh, okay. Next we have, in number 5, Amazon storefronts. So I actually have an Amazon storefront and I only hardcore worked on it for around a month back when it was really popular to have one. And I think I made just over $20 on it in that 1 month, which isn't bad for your first month, but I definitely could have had more success with it had I kept going. The reason why I haven't kept going with it as much is because my initial plan was to mostly promote it on my TikTok account, which you can go check me out over there, but I realized that the Amazon content I was making didn't really match with the other content that I typically make on TikTok, and I have a lot of reliable followers who, I don't know, I just kind of felt weird changing up my content so much just for my Amazon storefront. Someday I'm definitely going to work a lot more on this though, probably over here on YouTube, just because I have so many products to share that nobody talks about, and especially since I'm going off to university this fall, I have so many dorm essentials that I have found and I really can't wait to share them. So Amazon storefront gets a big thumbs up for me, and I definitely look forward to doing it more in the future. Okay, this one is a little bit higher just because I have made a lot more money on it, but the two could have been switched, number 5 and 4. And this one is Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing is basically a print-on-demand resource that I talked about a lot in my poetry book video. This side hustle has been both successful and unsuccessful for me, and I'm going to tell you why right now. So my poetry book has had a lot of success, and that would be considered a medium to high content book. Even though it's a smaller book, it has real writing and, you know, it's more of a book than the low content books that a lot of people put out on Amazon as a passive source of income. For low content books, I have put out a reading log and it has not had success. And I don't know if that's because I don't understand the algorithm or because you can't see the interior of the book on the Amazon display page, so nobody knows really what it is, but it hasn't had success. And that's where a lot of people turn to KDP, is to do these low content books like notebooks and planners. This one is a bit more like medium because I designed it all. It doesn't seem to sell on the algorithm. This option is very hit or miss for me, as you can see, because my poetry book has done really well, but my low content book hasn't done as well. I know a lot of people use the low content books as side hustles rather than making like a poetry book or a novel, but I definitely do think it's worth a shot because you never know how something is going to perform in the algorithm. And I've seen ebooks do really well and the low content books do really well, so take my experience with a grain of salt. You certainly don't need to be an author to have success on KDP. Alrighty, we've reached the top 3, and in the 3rd spot we have my crochet business, Daisy Crochet. So I have been running this business for almost 7 years now with my sister Shay. The concept is that we create products and bring them to a local farmer's market to sell. I really like this because although I know not everybody that's gonna watch is a crocheter, if you have any artistic skills or anything that you can make physical products with to sell at farmers markets, it's a great atmosphere and it's a really great passive source of income too. A few ideas for this are obviously crochet, which is mine, or you could do art like painting, jewelry, clothing, anything like that. Me and my sister go up to the market pretty much every Saturday from around 8 till 2, and we have a lot of success up there, and it's probably my most major source of income. And it's a lot of fun to make money for something that you already love, and that's a hobby of yours. Okay, this one is gonna take a little longer for me to explain, but it's definitely worth sticking around to listen because this is one of my most major sources of income and one of my favorites. In the number 2 slot, we have TikTok paid sounds. If the title doesn't explain the concept, TikTok paid sounds are basically apps or website that will pay you to follow a specific brief with a specific sound and post it on TikTok to promote the artist. For paid sound apps and websites, I have used Jenny, Zebber, and SoundMe. I'm gonna read off my little script for this portion just so I don't miss anything while I'm explaining all 3 of these different apps to you. So there's definitely benefits and drawbacks to all of them. Jenny is my least favorite, but sometimes you can definitely get lucky with it. It works in terms of contests. You aren't guaranteed to win any of them, but sometimes the prizes are much higher than the competitors that I'm going to be talking about. Zebber guarantees pay, which is awesome. And you have to usually follow specific briefs for these videos. So I don't make them on my main account on TikTok because my main account has very specific content. SoundMe was my favorite initially, and I think it still is. It's similar to Zebber, but the amounts of money you get vary based on the sound, and you also can be denied acceptance from certain sounds depending on your followers and the views that you typically get. SoundMe initially made me over $300 in just over a month, but keep in mind I do have over 40,000 followers, almost 50,000. So these sounds I was given were worth a lot more money than typically you would get with less followers. Although I have tried it with lower follower accounts and you can still get great sounds with great benefits. Unfortunately, my SoundMe account was recently messed up because I changed my username on TikTok and it doesn't recognize me anymore as the account I used to use. So unfortunately, I no longer use SoundMe on that account, which is a little bit disappointing, but take that as you will. It was super successful for me while it lasted. Okay, everybody give a drum roll for me for the last one because you all already know what it is if you've been on my channel before. It's Redbubble, also known as where I got all these magnificent stickers for my MacBook. So if you've seen some of my previous videos, you know how much I love Redbubble as a shopper and as a seller. Which is one thing that you have recently pointed out to me is that it says my account was created in March 2021. That's because I've been shopping on that account since March 2021. However, I started to do Redbubble in April, back when Printify failed me. If you're unfamiliar with Redbubble, I talk about it a lot more in my monthly recap videos, which you guys seem to love, and it's basically a print-on-demand resource that you can upload designs and they print and distribute them for you. Although not everybody sees great success on Redbubble, I think I have. You can take that as you will and watch my past 2 videos to form your own opinions, but I am very happy with the amount of passiveness and profit that you get from Redbubble if your designs happen to do well in the algorithm. Overall, Redbubble is an awesome resource to find great stickers and products, a wide range of products actually, and it's a great place for artists to get their work out there. With that being said, I'm going to be filming a Redbubble Q&A with some comments that I've gotten on my previous 2 Redbubble videos, as well as any comments that you guys leave on this video about Redbubble. So if you have anything that you want to ask me, please do so, and I will answer them in the upcoming video. Of course, you can also ask me questions regarding the other sources of income I discussed in this video, and I will try and answer them to the best of my ability. I didn't even realize I had tried so many of these before planning this video out, and apparently I have a lot of experience, so ask away. I really hope that you guys learned something from this video and maybe you will try something new because of it, and I love you so much. Thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. I hopefully will see you in my next video coming soon.